Hey everybody, this is me, the Undead Viking, and I want to talk to you about something really cool today. And this isn't a board game, but it is from some guys who make some pretty cool board games. This is this giant, epic-sized bag, and with this big, giant, cool... Well, you know, I'm not going to really go through all the different parts of it, the components are. I'll talk about that in a little bit towards the end of this video. But this is the big, ultimate swag bag. This is the bag that, if you are a convention goer, this is something you're going to want to take with you because of the fact that not only is it giant, it can contain a ton of stuff, but it also, you know, is very, very sturdy. You're not going to rip it up. It isn't like made out of paper. It's made out of really, really durable cloth to carry all your stuff when you're going. And you know, it doesn't have to. Even you can put other stuff in the game bag too. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a game bag. You can call it just a bag, and you can carry all kinds of things. As a matter of fact, I wonder if it could carry. Alright, this is going to be a little bit of an unorthodox test of the epic gaming bag here. But this right here is my son. What's your name?
Caleb.
This is Caleb. Caleb is how old?
5.
5. How much do you weigh, Caleb?
1,000 pounds.
Okay, so Caleb weighs 1,000 pounds, but he's still going to be able to be picked up by the Everything Epic game bag. Are you ready? 1,000-pound Caleb.
Yes.
Alright, here we go. Hold on. So, now I'm just going to put this down. Now just go ahead and step in there.
Step in.
Okay, now with the other foot. Now hop up a little bit. Wait. Alright, well he's shrinking right now. But here we go. Ready? So here we have a Caleb in an Everything Epic game bag. But I would not suggest carrying your children around in this bag. But that's just to show you how tough this bag is, and how, now Caleb is, of course, just like any good assistant. Stand up, buddy.
I can't get out.
Okay, well here, let me help you up here. That shows you just how awesome it is. Thanks for your help, buddy. Hey, give me a high five.
As soon as I get out of this weird bag.
High five, buddy. Alright, thanks for your help, bud. Love you. Alright, so that was fun. My son really enjoyed that. But anyway, so this, okay, as I said, this is the game bag you'd want to take with you to conventions and what have you. But this is also, if you don't go to conventions, this would be the perfect thing if you're having to drag a bunch of games to your board game meetups or your local game store or whatever. This would be perfect. So I'm just going to kind of show you, I've got this big mess of games over here, and I'm going to show you how easily, I mean, like I said, this is a giant thing, how we could fit, like normally, like I usually carry like a bunch of tubs with me when I go to board game meetups. There's like conventions that I go to that are local or within an hour away from me, and I will go to those as well. And once again, just bringing giant, you know what I'm talking about. You go to any of those big box stores and you get like those giant tubs, and yeah, okay, those are cool and all, but you know, this is one of those things where if you are planning a big giant trip, sure, put 5 or 6 of those in your car, bring the forklift, bring whatever you have to do to be able to carry it all into the hotel and back. But if you're just looking for something to carry, like 5 or 6 or 7 games or whatever, to your friend's house so you can have like a full weekend of gaming or just an afternoon of gaming or whatever, this is perfect for that. So let's start off, like I said, I showed you the bag. So like I said, I got this big mess of games here. So let's just start with, I got my WarQuest base game and all of my WarQuest expansions. So we'll go ahead and we're going to put those in the bag for starters. And you know, and the cool thing is that the bottom of the bag, it does fold out. You can see it's nice, and so like most of our games, as you well know, do tend to be rather rectangular, and and finding a bag that is wide enough to hold everything is tough. So here's a really cool game that just came out from Stronghold Games, the kind of like the remake of Spikerstot and Kai Specker from Stefan Feld. Awesome little auction-y, Viking themed game, and I like Viking themed games. Okay, Ponzi Scheme, pretty good game from some company that maybe I work with or something like that. The Ponzi Scheme, awesome game about trying to make other people bankrupt. My treasured Okazu brand version of Yokohama that is coming in 2017 from Tasty Minstrel Games as well. And you know what? While I've got the good spot for right now, let's go ahead and put in my treasured copy of StarCraft, the board game. And this was given to me very kindly by my awesome friend, David Lowery, if you haven't checked out his. And notice how, like, I'm putting this in like this. I'm not putting it in like that. This is wide enough to put a giant coffin box game in, like so. Here, let me actually hold that up so you can kind of see that. So, I'm putting it in like that. It's that big. So, like a giant coffin box game, I can just put in like that, and I can just slide it in there. Like so. Perfect fit. And it is, like, perfectly fitting in there. So now, we'll go ahead, my copy of Lorenzo Il Magnifico. Always fun. Escape Room the game. You know, I gotta give this off. I've almost defeated all 4 of them, so I'm gonna have to, you know, give that to a buddy of mine. Maybe they'll want to play it with his family. And finally, my treasured copy of the new Blood Bowl. Just gonna go ahead and put that on top. So now, I have all of these games in this bag, right? And they're all safe. They're all secure. I have this cool little shoulder strap, here, like that. And I can carry them to my I can put this in my car, I can leave with it, I can walk into my friend's house, and all of my games are protected and perfectly fine in this awesome, awesome bag. So there you go. And you can see, I'm not exactly a small gentleman. And you can tell the bag itself is wider than I am. So this, you know, I've seen bags like this, like if you've ever been to a large convention, some publishers will actually give away these big, large bags, like Cool Stuff, or Cool Mini or Not, has like a big bag. AEG usually has like a big, giant bag. But, you know, and this company themselves, Everything Epic, did the same thing, because they had a giant game with tons of expansions, and they had this giant bag to put it all in. And that's where they got the idea for this. So, but this is an extremely sturdy, extremely, I mean, it even looks nice. You know, the design and everything on the outside is really cool. I invite you to go ahead and check out the Kickstarter page, check out what they're doing with it, and, you know, maybe, like, and get one of these guys for yourselves, because, trust me, I have used this to drag my games to my buddy Jim's house, over to my local game store, you know, just all those places that before it was annoying, you know, having to carry 2 or 3 games like this, or having to bring a tub. And now, with relative ease, I can bring them all, and even more than I'm usually normally bringing, you know, whenever I head out to enjoy this hobby of mine. So, alright, well, thank you very much for taking time to watch this video. If you have any questions about the Kickstarter, like this Kickstarter program for this bag, or the bag itself, or whether or not my son really weighs 1,000 pounds, please ask away. I'll be happy to answer those questions as best as I can. And until next time, I'm the Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day.